We leave Great Keppel Island in the early morning darkness with a plan of sailing south to Pancake Creek. But when we get there, the anchorage is full. So we keep going into the night, clocking up 131 nautical miles to reach Burnett Heads. Along the way, we explain what we do to stay safe sailing at night.
Well, good morning on this beautiful November morning. It is Monday the 23rd, 23rd of November. And we are leaving Great Keppel Island, heading for Pancake Creek this morning. Well, we should get in about 4 o'clock, hopefully catching the tide. It looks like we're going to have light winds, so it might be quite tight on the nose and also motoring for most of the day, but we're going to take the opportunity to head south while we can before we get more southeasterlies. I was up there with his head torch, removing our bridle, which has kept us from rolling, and you can see now we've taken it off. Well, you might not be able to, but I can certainly feel it. We are rolling away. Glad we didn't have that off last night, Rob. We wouldn't have got any sleep.
I'm rolling here.
Yeah. Belendra has already left. They left about 3. And Stardust have their main up and they've just turned around and heading out as well. Beautiful sunrise happening out there. We have the sails up and we're just motoring out past the island, hopefully to get some extra wind. So while I've got the protection of the islands, I'm just going to warm up our breakfast. And of course, these are the ones that I made yesterday, making sure we're having the egg. Just going to pop them there, into there. Pop the lid on. And just warm them through, turning them a few times so of course the wrap doesn't actually burn on any one side.
Just gotta get its staysail out. That feels better. Wind is probably still too. The wind is way too close to the bow to be able to getting the Jenny out at the moment. Hopefully, once we get past this little island and we stop having the distortion in the wind over it, we might get a sailing angle. We can cross our fingers.
For jobs in the galley underway, I just have this one small sheet of non-slip, and the non-slip, just you can pop your cups on, a plate, anything else, and just helps it not slide on down, because if I hold the camera level at the moment without really any sea state, we're on quite an angle. There we have it. 2 egg and cheese rolls, nicely warmed, ready for breakfast.
Yeah, the wind's still on our nose, but we've got this island out there that hopefully when we get around, we should get a little bit wind angle, and I'd like to get the engine off.
Great Keppel Island is still there, and We've had the fishing line out for probably 20 minutes. No. Oh. And it's a bit rocky rolly out here. Lucky we finished eating breakfast. Oh no! Bad luck, mate.
Breaking my heart each morning while it keeps it going. It's been driving my life into both joy and sorrow, and there's still a long way to go.
Goodbye, Pancake. Oh, fish
jumping right
just
here.
jumping. Now, we've got the lines out, guys. Just come on over to our line. We won't make you dinner tonight because we have decided to...
Keep going. We were going to go into Pancake Creek. I could count 16, 18 boats in there. It's going to be pretty crowded. We've got about 45 minutes to get in and get anchored. Then it's another, that long again to get the anchor up and leave tomorrow. So we're just going to truck on straight on through to Burnett Heads. We're going to be there probably about 2 a.m. But then we can go to sleep and stay that way for a while.
Just begun. It's the storm inside that's breaking my heart each morning while it keeps it going. It's been driving my life into both joy and sorrow, and there's still a long way to go.
So we are getting ready for a night passage. We expect to get into Burnett Heads at around 12:30, 1 o'clock hopefully, if the wind holds. We've only got 6-7 knots of wind. We are motor sailing. The wind's pretty well beam on. If we sail at the moment, we're going to get us into Burnett Heads sort of dawn. We hadn't planned on coming so far, but when we got to Pancake Creek, it was pretty full. There was a lot of boats in there, and considering the conditions, we just thought, well, let's keep pushing on. We'll head on to Burnett Heads. So we're going to be sailing at night. It's very benign conditions, doesn't matter. It could be glassed out. We still wear our life jackets at night. Our rules are we are put on at night. Our life jackets are, I prefer the Crew Saver. Karen has a spin lock. It's just the individual fit that we're comfortable in, because you need a life vest that doesn't irritate you, that you're comfortable in, you're happy to wear, and that was no big deal. Benefits of this one is, in this pocket here, I've got an AIS man overboard beacon. So, heaven forbid I did the wrong thing,
unclipped, went out the back or something and ended up overboard, it's going to set off an alarm on the boat, on the AIS system. And I will be shown as an AIS target for any AIS equipped vessel within range. You'll be able to, off this boat, you would see that I'm back there somewhere at 230 metres at so many degrees, and you'll know exactly where I am. If Karen was asleep, the alarm's intended to wake her up. The other thing we carry on our life vests on the other side, it's a PLB. It's a personal EPIRB. So your best chance of getting rescued is by the boat that you fell off, and that's where the AIS man overboard beacon comes in. But I got to tell you, top to top on this one, set it off. It's going to send a signal to the satellite down to the Australian Maritime Safety Authority in Canberra, and they're going to start organising a response. And for the price of it, what price do you put on a life? So we use a very high dollar life jacket, life vest, AIS man overboard beacon, and a personal locator beacon, a personal EPIRB. We're always strapped on at night. I've reduced sail. The wind is going to go around behind us. We might get a little bit of swell, and with our big mizzen, it tends to push the boat around. We don't want any chance of the autopilot not being able to handle it tonight. We want a cruisy thing, so I've actually dropped the mizzen, put it away, and we're sailing along now with our headsail, our Yankee, and our full main, and all of that can be furled from in the cockpit. We don't have to leave to bring the main down or to furl away the headsail. So we keep an eye on our AIS for any targets that are coming. Obviously the plotters running, all the normal safety gear. Nav lights are about to be turned on, the sun hasn't quite set yet. We've pulled the fishing lines in. Karen's got a meal organised just to pop up and eat. No problem there. There's no preparation needed in the galley. And as I said, we should be anchored up by about 12:31 a.m. And come back and join us when we enjoy our post-passage glass of bread. It'll be 130 nautical miles thrown in the log today.
Good morning, everybody. I know, way too happy for 12 a.m. in the morning, but I'm really happy because we are so close to Bundaberg. After 4 a.m. start now yesterday, we've made good track and we can now see the lighthouse, one of our very important navigational aids obviously, and it's flashing 4 times with silent for 10, so it is definitely the right lighthouse, and we're just waiting to come up to see whether we can see the beacons. We can't quite see them yet, but they're on their way. Rob's due to get up any moment. He's down having a nap. He's done long haul today, so he needed to have a little nap before we go in and we do the next hour and a half together, which will be down through the main shipping channel and into the river. I can hear our AIS going off down there again. It's just picking up a couple of pleasure boats actually anchored. One of those is our good friends Whoosh, which we're looking forward to catching up with them. We haven't seen them for 9 months. And talking about how long? Bundaberg, we were here 7 months ago. 7 months ago, and it was the last time we had our woolly weather gear out. And we've got our Helly Hansons on again because it's quite chilly tonight. Hopefully it doesn't stay too chilly. Anyway, good morning, Rob.
Yes, hello.
Did you have a good rest?
I just had a little hour to rest a little.
Recharge those batteries.
Yeah, I didn't sleep.
Ships from the south storming along the shoreline. Those who arrived came here with nothing more than dreams.
4 a.m. start this morning, Rob?
4 a.m. start. It is now 1:38 a.m. the next day.
Yeah. After a bit of a drama actually anchoring tonight.
Well, yeah, we've done 131.9 miles, and it took 20 hours and 49 minutes, and the 49 minutes were in the river, getting the sail down and then getting anchored up, because there are a lot of boats in here with no lights on. There is very little moonlight, and there are a lot of boats in here, so we had to find a spot, and it was very difficult in the dark, particularly when you're trying to manoeuvre your way around boats that are anchored all over the place with no lighting. So it took us a while and made the end of what had been otherwise pretty smooth sailing. The end of it was a little bit stressful.
It was a bit stressful, wasn't it?
But
we got anchored, and that's all good.
we're here.
Yeah.
We're having after passage beer. We thought about red wine, but it's still quite warm and needed a cold drink.
Yes, I think we both did.
But the good news is tomorrow morning we can sleep in. We don't have to wake up at Pancake Creek in the dark and negotiate our way out of there, where it looked like, I don't know what,
It looked like
peak hour in a major capital city.
LA peak hour on the 101.
There were boats everywhere when we went past. At a quick count, I reckon 18, and it's not a very big anchorage. So it was a pretty easy decision to say, let's just keep going.
Yeah, and we had good weather. I mean, the wind was, unfortunately, we did have to motor sail for most of the day.
Yeah. No,
Which, yeah.
the wind was well under 10 knots all day until the last 25 minutes.
Yeah,
of
the
course.
25 minutes we had some great wind coming in, where we had to drive all the way down the shipping channel. It's always the way, isn't it?
So it is what it is, but we're here. We're anchored up. We're secure. We're going to have a cold drink, and then hit the bunk and sleep in the morning.
We will be. Good night, everyone.
Yeah, our friends on Whoosh anchored behind us, Bob and Lynn. They've been up a little bit earlier than us this morning, not surprisingly. And they tell us that they've seen 17 boats leave today. There's a northerly blowing, so there's plenty heading south while the opportunity's there. And there's a lot more space than when we were trying to find a spot to drop our pick last night, that's for sure. And on a moonless night, it was a bit of fun.
Totally agree, Rob, that it would have been much easier to anchor with only the 6 boats that we currently have in here. And Valindra arrived in at 5:30 a.m. They did an overnighter like us, but a little bit slower. But it's so nice to now have brunch, because I think it's about 10 o'clock now that we've opened our eyes, and it was already prepared. I just had to warm it, so it was really good.
If you're enjoying our videos, please make sure you give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. It really does help us with YouTube to reach more people. If you also hit the bell button, you'll be notified each time we release a new episode. Come sail with us again soon.